Today, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, 67th chapter, text 4 through 11. Text 4. Vachitsa Shailan Utpatya, Tairdeshan Samachurnayat, Anartan Sutarameva, Yatrasde Mitra Ha Harihi. Translation. Once Viveda tore up a number of mountains and used them to devastate all the neighboring kingdoms, especially the province of Anarta, wherein dwelt his friend's killer, Lord Hari. Text 5. Another time he entered the ocean, and with the strength of 10,000 elephants, churned up its water with his arms, and thus submerged the coastal regions. Text 6. The wicked ape tore down the trees in the hermitages of exalted sages and contaminated their sacrificial fires with his feces and urine. Text 7. Just as a wasp imprisons smaller insects, he arrogantly threw both men and women into caves in a mountain valley and sealed the caves shut with boulders. Text 8. Once, Viveda was thus engaged in harassing the neighboring kingdoms and polluting women of respectable families. He heard very sweet singing coming from Raivataka mountain, so he went there. Texts 9 and 10. There he saw Sri Balaram, the lord of the Yadus, adorned with a garland of lotuses and appearing most attractive in every limb. He was singing amidst a crowd of young women, and since he had drunk Varuni liquor, his eyes rolled as if he were intoxicated. His body shone brilliantly, and he behaved like an elephant in rut. Text 11. The mischievous ape climbed the tree branch and then revealed his presence by shaking the trees and making the sound kila kila. Purport. The word shakamrega indicates that the ape, the Viveda, like ordinary apes, was naturally inclined to climb trees. Srila Prabhupada writes, this gorilla by the name Viveda could climb up into the trees and jump from one branch to another. Sometimes he would jerk the branches, creating a particular type of sound, kila kila, so that Lord Balaram was greatly distracted from the pleasing atmosphere. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai. So, good morning, everybody. Before I begin, I'd like to request the blessings of all of you, especially the senior most devotees, that I may speak something which is in line with the Guru Parampara, which is enlightening to our hearts, and that our hearts themselves become fertile ground for this sublime message to take root on. We are hearing today about the activities of the Veda gorilla, and this is such a powerful monkey, and we're hearing his exploits. What happens when somebody becomes so powerful that he or she will let that enter into his heart and allow it to grow, basically like a cancer, into arrogance and envy. So we're hearing first here about how he is basically, he started all from this pride of oh, they have killed my, my friend Narakasura, and so now I have to avenge my friend. But what we see is that, and probably you talked about this yesterday, is that he's coming from the time of Lord Ram, and in that time he was he was very envious of Lakshman, who was the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. He was Balaram himself, and he just became so envious of him that this allowed him to then go into the association of Narakasura. And with Narakasura, then he became even worse. So envy allowed him to go into a state where he wanted the association of people who were not proper for his development in spiritual life. It allowed him to start associating and getting uh, this desire to start doing terrible things with his powers, with those same powers with which he previously had served the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Lord Ram and his consort Sita Devi. Now he was using them, we're seeing, to do all sorts of mischief, and such as tearing up mountains and then using these mountains to devastate the neighboring kingdoms. Um, then going into the ocean and with his hands just churning up the water to make tsunamis, basically, and going into hermitages of sages and just tearing down the trees, and it says here, uh, contaminating with the sacrificial fires with feces and urine. And remember that this is a very, very big monkey. It's a monkey from the Treta Yuga. So you can just imagine the volumes of feces and urine that he must have uh, passed on the sacrificial fires. It wasn't just like little droppings here and there. It was uh, Treta Yuga droppings. We're hearing how he is uh, putting up men and women and stealing them in caves. But why is he doing all of these things? Why is he harassing all of these people? He wants to show off how much power he has. He wants to show off that he can put all of these people in misery. And that is the happiness in the form of in the mode of ignorance. Let me show you how strong and powerful I am, and I will enjoy you suffering. I will enjoy your suffering and seeing how you're at my mercy. That is the happiness in the mode of ignorance. Uh, and these gifts that were given to him by the Supreme Personality of Godhead are now becoming what the same instruments that he is using to drive himself to hell with. And it is said there in the Bhagavatam that we should with bhakti we're going to get certain gifts, certain gifts that probably we might not even have otherwise. Certain gifts that allow us to spread bhakti. But with those same gifts, such as, for example, learning, sometimes the devotees become very learned in the scriptures. They can quote from so many different sources. How many shlokas do you have? Do you know? Oh, unlimited. I know the whole Bhagavad Gita by heart. I know the Manu Samhita. I know the Srimad Bhagavatam. They will they can become extremely learned, and people will start uh, adoring him for this or her. We'll start just showing so much praise, and this the Bhagavatam says these gifts should not be used for sense gratification, but for the service of the Lord, because anything that we use for ourselves will implicate us in the ocean of material suffering. Anything that we just allow to enter our heart, and we say like, oh, this I'm going to enjoy this for myself. That will make us go into this state of just wanting to uh, get more and more. Uh, Queen Kunti is warning us of this. She's saying that there are four things that are disqualifications for in the path of bhakti: the uh, knowledge, beauty, uh, high birth, right, and fame. And so these things, if we it's not that if we have them, then oh, now I have to give them up. No, but generally what happens is that these things, if they're not used directly in the service of the Lord, what will happen is that they will enter the heart. It's very easy to become intoxicated by them. It's very easy to believe that, oh, look, I have uh, so much beauty, or I have so much learning that or so much money, right? I'm going to just uh, do so much with it for my own sense gratification, and this starts growing like a cancer. This cancer, when it's very small, can be squashed very easily, but the more it grows, it just starts affecting everything, not in all sorts of places where we won't even notice it, but it's going to get there. And the interesting thing is that the Vedic gorilla now has to face that same personality that he was envious of, now is coming again as Lord Balaram. And that Lord Balaram, who is so merciful, we approach Radha and Krishna through Lord Balaram, through Guru, that he is going to teach now the Veda gorilla a lesson. And what do we see here? He was envious in another time, and now he is envious again. He was engaged in doing all sorts of nonsense, and then he hears this beautiful sound of music. He's hearing this these laughter of women, very beautiful women, enjoying with this person who he hates from a previous yuga. What is worse? What is the worst thing that an envious person can see? That somebody else is just flourishing and having fun and enjoying more than you are. And that is what Lord Balaram is doing here. So nothing could be more tearing to the heart of an envious person than somebody else being happy. Now, the Veda gorilla says like, I have to do something about this. I have to mess this thing up for this person, because nobody can be as happy as I am. That is again something that happens with envy. Arrogance led to envy. Arrogance feeds envy. this pride. This pride is so obnoxious that it leads to envy, and envy just can't allow anybody else to be happy. If I'm Nobody can be as happy as I am. Let me mess up this person's life. So he starts shaking up the trees, starts saying kila kila, and uh, it will get worse. I don't want to spoil it for the next person that will do this tomorrow, but it gets gradually more intense, the way that he is harassing Lord Balaram and his consorts. But there is this story about Lord Srila Prabhupada, uh, Shrutakirti Prabhu, when he was a servant of Prabhupada. He talks about how at some point, I think it was in LA, Prabhupada was asking him to, in the evenings, Prabhupada would go to the garden in the LA temple, and he loved that garden because he loved the natural settings, and he would sit there. He would ask Shrutakirti Prabhu to please speak from the well, to read the Krishna book. And so he would generally say like what do you want me to read, like which chapter? And Prabhupada said it's like a gulab jamun. The Krishna book is like gulab jamun. Wherever you take a bite of it, it's sweet. So just any place. And this one time, he just chose randomly then this chapter of the Veda Gorilla, and he started just talking about all of these exploits of the Veda Gorilla, and Prabhupada was just uh, laughing, laughing and laughing. He was even slapping his leg with his hand, and the devotees, seeing Prabhupada so happy, so joyous, they also started laughing, and everybody was just in such ecstasy, just hearing how naughty the Viveda Gorilla could get. And but Srila Prabhupada also spoke to the devotees that even though it was funny and all that, this gorilla was no joke because he was uh, right now, for us, it's funny, to hear about, all of what a monkey can do, especially here in the Bhagavatam. It's telling us how, yeah, he was really, even though he was so powerful and everything, his uh his uh his nature was still uh Shaka Mriga. Shaka Mriga, it's another name for monkey, but it means an animal of the branches, an animal of the branches. So that's why in the purport here today, um, the servants uh, of Srila Prabhupada, they're saying that this was the nature of monkeys, to jump from tree branch to tree branch. It was so even though he was saying like, oh, I'm so powerful and like that, he's still a monkey. And that is what we are, when we think of ourselves like such incredible, powerful people. Oh, look at me. Nobody is as famous as I am. Nobody is as great as influencer as I am, right? uh, just a few uh, a week ago, it was in LA, and in the city, I was there for a conference, for and it was incredible, just seeing like the whole place. Just the traffic is incredible of LA. I got to experience it. I decided it was a whole week of nerding out at this conference of the American Association of Physicists in Medicine. And but the first day I said, like, you know what? I'm just gonna take this day off, and and I decided to go to this studio, this dancing studio, very famous. And when I went there, it was really nice. But on the way there, the lady that was driving me in the Uber, she was telling me a little about the city. And in this city, she said there were so many influencers. So and these influencers, they basically they run on the number of people that are with them. So basically, their whole life is just how can I acquire more and more fame because depending on who they are, people will go to the different places where they go to. Oh, this influencer goes to this place. Oh, let me also go to that. And so there's a whole when you go into cafes there, you will see all of these people typing out and editing videos, and all of them are influencers. And so that's your life, just how can I get more and more fame into my life? But fame is a double-edged sword. Yes, it can be used for great if you're like, for example, Jay Shetty, right? And you're using it to uplift people, to bring people like the Kardashians to Srila Prabhupada's feet and offer uh, and offer flowers to Prabhupada. But it can also be very degrading if you're not using it for bhakti. So uh, this uh, these these things of that we're seeing here, they're just coming into our hearts and becoming that cancer. They're becoming something that is just uh, growing into and feeding into the envy. And when you get to the envy, right now we say, well, I wouldn't do that. How could I envy the Supreme Personality of Godhead? But we start with envying the devotees. We start very small. We start with envying somebody very small. Oh yeah, I can't stand it when this person does this, and we'll justify it. We'll justify that no, it's not me envious. I'm just saying the things that the truth, and everybody has to know it. Everybody has to know the truth, and we will see we'll see ourselves like very righteous for bringing out the truth. Platforms like Facebook are very pernicious if we start going into this route. We see how so many people actually fall down just because of Facebook. They will start going into this route of making aparads, making uh, insults, uh, and becoming envious of other people who they don't even know. And from doing this, then uh, then other things start happening. We think at the beginning, oh look, nothing's happening. I'm still chanting my rounds. I'm still okay. That is Maya. Notice how long it took for the Viveda gorilla to do this. He was back in at the time of Treta Yuga, and now in the Dvapara Yuga, at the end of the Dvapara Yuga, now uh, it came out. That final blow of just being absolutely obnoxious, of being completely anti Lord Ram, against the very Lord who he served. Now he is going against him. It took a long time, but it came there. And so at the very beginning, we might think like, yeah, look, I can insult, I can envy, I can do all of this, and I'm still a devotee. Nothing's happening. I'm still good, but eventually we will become as obnoxious as the Veda gorilla. What can we do? What can we do about this? We have to beg for humility. When we're chanting, it is said that we should chant in a humble state of mind, thinking ourselves lower than the straw in the street, giving all respect to others and not expecting for us. So we have to beg for this as we're chanting. We have because we know that we'll become blind. Once we are intoxicated, there's no there's no going back. Just see like how Ravana and Hiranyakashipu, they were told, hey, you're doing this is wrong. You shouldn't be doing this, and they couldn't hear it. Especially Ravana, he was being told by his brothers, he was being told by his minister, he was being told by his wife. Everybody was telling him, hey, just give up Sita and live happily. And he couldn't hear it. It was so far gone. He couldn't hear it. So when we allow this thing to just go on to a certain point, we won't be able to see it or hear it. And no, I'm right. I am righteous. This can't be happening, and I'm going to do something about it. So we have to beg constantly to the Lord for humility. We have to beg constantly that if we have any little amount of any of the six opulences, that will remain humble with them. That we will not go down that path of the Veda gorilla. And then we can actually enjoy somebody else being happy. We will be happy in seeing everyone else's happiness. We'll be happy in sharing Krishna's happiness with everyone. By ourselves, when we're arrogant, our happiness comes is from me. But when we allow Krishna to just like enter into our hearts, and we'll be happy putting him in the center and helping others put Krishna in the center. The Veda, he could have gotten all blessings from just appreciating devotees, just appreciating the Supreme Personality of God. That's how easy it is to make advancement. Maybe I'm not so great. Maybe I don't have the power of this and that. But if I can just be happy for somebody else, that is very important. Can I just this devotee? I can't make one single devotee, but this other devotee, he is preaching and he's bringing so many people in. I can make a lot of advancement just by appreciating that devotee. Oh, this devotee is makes such wonderful prasad. It's amazing how you're making advancement just by appreciating that. You're making advancement just by saying like, wow, this devotee is dressing the Lord so nicely. I can't do it. I can't do it like that, but I'm so happy that there's a devotee that can do that for the Lord. You're making advancement. That's how easy Krishna makes it. If we can focus on just constantly see how I can appreciate others around me, even if they're not devotees. They don't even have to be devotees. The nice thing is that this is also a way of preaching, because people generally are so taken aback by somebody that can appreciate them. People are really hungry for that appreciation, and suddenly like you're giving it to them because everybody is being like miserly and no, I want the attention, I want the, and suddenly somebody's giving it. It's like, what? Wait, this person is different. This person is actually appreciating me. Finally, somebody appreciates me. That is a great way of preaching, and it's also a way. And when these people become devotees, guess what? You got the credit of appreciating a devotee. So finding that happiness in giving Krishna to others, in seeing Krishna being happy, in seeing others being happy, that will and praying constantly for this humility, that this is what's going to allow us to not become a monkey, a shakamriga, uh, not to make a fool out of ourselves, like the Veda gorilla, and to be able to go back home, back to Godhead. And there's still 7 minutes left here, so that we can uh, talk about Veda gorilla, or if you have any good jokes, uh, this is also the time to do it. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Murli Gopal Prabhu. Wonderful class. It's such a wonderful mood to have where we pray for humility. We understand that we're prone to becoming forgetful, becoming proud when things are going our way, so to say, temporarily. And then we also tend to get distracted and freak out when things aren't going our way. So it's either way, whether it's good or bad, we're still prone to being distracted from our service in this mood, in the mood of humility, in the line of Srila Prabhupada and other acharyas. Thank you, Murli Gopal. But just a reflection on what you said. Okay, let's open it up. Let's open the treasure chest of knowledge by asking questions. Jamunajaya.
Hey, Krishna, Murli Gopal. Thanks for class. I just am really reflecting on something about the envy thing and what you said about appreciation. Something Guru Dave always says is that what we appreciate in others normally then appreciates in ourselves. And we look at the word appreciation, like I always say, I don't know much about finances, but apparently things appreciate over time. um, and so it really is that wonderful quality. It's like, and I forget who says it, but when we appreciate someone, we build a bridge from their good qualities from their heart into our heart. So they march right in. And then when we're envious of people, it's exactly the opposite. Like the envious qualities march more into our heart. And I'm just thinking, we're here because we're envious. We envied God, and that's why we're here in the first place. And we keep digging a hole deeper, like we see with the gorilla in our mind, like the monkey jumps from thing to thing to thing. So I love all the analogies in this pastime so much. But mainly that thing about if we but appreciate, then those qualities would grow in us. They would appreciate in us. So thank you.
We there's this saying that we can either be like flies or like bees, right? So the fly, we it doesn't matter if it's in a field of flowers, it will find the stool. And a bee, even if it's in a field of just junk and everything like that, it will find the flower. So we can always find faults in others. But whatever it is, it could be a person that is a pure devotee, and we will find a fault. Or we could see the most degraded person, and we could find a virtue. So what are we going to focus on? Our consciousness, we want it to be like that, be constantly trying to find the good in others, whatever, whoever they may be, whatever they're doing. How can I focus on that good thing? Because, as you said, it will in my consciousness, it will just start growing. I will be filled with flowers everywhere around me. It will be flowers, and my heart will be full of flowers.
But does that mean, Murli Gopal Prabhu? I mean, how do we, if there's some kind of degrading behavior that we witness,
Mm-hmm.
so what do we do? Do we just fly to the next flower looking for nectar? What about that
Sometimes
behavior?
we have to deal with some of these things. Sometimes we have to deal. But the question is it really my job to deal with this, right? Like if I'm in a position like a temple president, right? Uh, I have to do something, and I see something that is going wrong with people, right? I have to do something about it. So I'm in a position where I have to do something about this. But even in that situation where I have to do something about it, the person who is doing it has the person has to have that mentality of a bee to do it for the benefit of this other person, not out of envy. I'm going, yes, this person is doing like this, but look at the great things that the person is. For the benefit of these other people, maybe I have to deal with it, but maintaining that positive mindset. We deal with things but maintain that positive mindset so that envy doesn't start going into our heart, so that we don't start going down the route of Viveda Gorilla, so that we don't start making offenses to other people, because it's very easy to go from criticizing to offenses. It's very, very small.
One time, one devotee shared with me confidentially how they were struggling with maintaining their vows and their sadhana and their overall faith. Oh, okay. Time to be seen by the Lord. Turn on your cameras, please, if you can. Bring your children and horses closer to the phone.
Shri Shri Radha Murida Gaur Chandra Bhagavan Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai Shri Radha Murli. Welcome to the Afterglow, everybody. Nice class, Murli Gopal Prabhu. Thank you so much. Such a wonderful, in-depth study of the nature of envy and how to deal with it. So what I was going to share quickly. There was this devotee who was struggling in his bhakti. It was like a crisis of faith for this person. And he said he told his guru about that. And then he told me, you know what my guru said to me? My guru invited me to travel with him. He didn't expose me. He didn't chastise me. He just invited me to travel with him, to get closer. So, and he said, and his devotee was deeply touched by the way his guru reacted to what they told him. So the principle is that when we try to correct somebody, the mood has to be, like Murli Gopal Prabhu said, to uplift the person, to encourage them. But in some cases there may be something gross and criminal going on. That's a different case. But when we think that somebody's proud or not intelligent enough or rude or so in those cases we should really strive to encourage the person, get closer to them, ask how they're doing, because normally most of those things are just a call for love, call for attention. So give them some love, uplift them in the name of Srila Prabhupada and Guru, and you'll see, you'll be dealing with their good side. They'll immediately turn. Anyone has that experience? Has had that experience, dealing with the person's good side or the ugly side? Anyone? No. Annabelle, who's your best friend? Is that him next to you? Is that your best friend? Is your brother nice to you, Annabelle?
Isaiah.
Is he not? Isaiah. Is Isaiah nice to you?
Sometimes.
Hello.
All right. Hello, Isaiah. Hello. Thank you for being in class, guys. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. Any questions, comments? Murli Gopal Prabhu, what is Reiki about? Is that nonsense? Is that legit? Is it about uplifting somebody's energy? Is that right?
Actually, Reiki started because there was a man who in Japan who heard about the powers of Jesus Christ, that he could heal with his hands,
There you go. Legit.
and so he said, well, uh, how does this happen? He said, if the Lord said that we could heal with our hands, so if I have enough faith, I should be able to do it. If I have faith in the Lord, I should be able to do. He said, you will be able to do all of this that I do and more. So he said, like, if I have faith, I should be able to do it. So he went to a mountain and he just started praying and praying and like that uh for I can't remember how many days. It was over a month. Uh just intensely, like please allow me to heal with the hands, like you do. Allow me to, because you said that you would do it. And after that, all of these days, he was a little bit disappointed that, okay, well, nothing happened like that. So, and as he was going down the mountain, he fell down and he started rolling, and he hurt himself really badly in the rocks like that. And the first reaction that you do when something like that is to put your hands in the place where you got hurt, right? And he noticed that immediately he healed. And then as he was going down lower, there was a person who was living in this cottage, and they were in distress because uh, their son was very sick and about to die. And seeing what he had just done, he went, okay, let me just put my hands on top of this person. And that person healed and came back fully recovered. So he knows, like, yes, the Lord answered my prayers. And from that, then he went on to teach this technique of Reiki to others. Nowadays, it may be a little bit more secular than back then, but the idea was, yeah, that he was asking, like, uh, if I actually have faith in the scriptures, where it says that I'll be able to do what Jesus did and more, then I should be able to do this.
Thank you, Murli Gopal Prabhu. I was always curious about Reiki and the Bhakti take on Reiki. Thank you. There's one Reiki person looked at me, and she said, "I didn't ask. We just kind of were in the same room in the same place at the same time." And she looked at me and said, "Oh, you are shattered." And I was like, "What? What?" I chant Hare Krishna. I think I'm okay. Oh, you are shattered. And then I became curious about that. What is this? So Murli Gopal Prabhu is a Reiki person. Am I shattered? What do you think? What part of my body do you need?
You're scattered all over Manhattan. You've been
I'm
shattered.
scattered. I didn't know you were into Reiki too, Bhima Prabhu.
Your
I had
brain's
no
been
idea.
battered. Listen, human touch is human touch. Human love is human love. All it takes is what esoteric stories do we have to go into if a child falls, a little toddler falls, and she scraped her knees and she's crying because it stings, and then the mother says, "Let me kiss it and make it better." That's the mother's love, and it does become better because Krishna's given us all our healing properties within our own body. But love, of course, is that, and attention. So it's not some mystical thing. of some wild. It's simply the energy we're blessed with, and when we share it with others with affection and care, then we become healthy. And when somebody goes away that we've been intimately connected with all our lives, as in elderly people, and one person dies, it's not too long until the other, because touch that of connection to this world, at least, is not there. So these things are very, very, very commonsensical. That if we just,
Tanya did
that's why
Reiki.
Prabhupada used to tell you that was to stimulate our that we spend in this world.
Thank you, Bina Prabhu. I had a connection issue. I did hear the ending, but I'm sure it was ecstatic. Annabelle is yawning. All right, let's keep it exciting, dear devotees. Martine has her hand up, followed by Garangalila.
Good morning. Yeah, I am. I trained in Reiki, so I'm level 2. And over 20 years ago, a good friend of mine was diagnosed with a very aggressive form of cancer, and so she was my first client, if I can. It's not client, but the person I gave Reiki to. And when she was on her deathbed at the hospital, she asked me to give her Reiki. And that was a very powerful experience because, everything was shutting down, and put my hand on her, heart and belly. And that was where the energy I was able to move was powerful for her. And she'd come down, and then gradually she left. But she was 39. So it's a very powerful thing, Reiki, and it really, all of us can learn it. And even if you give Reiki to a Reiki treatment to someone who is very sick, the sickness energy doesn't come to you. It's really an exchange, and their body will draw the energy where it needs it. So we work around the chakras, the energy centers, and the periphery and so forth. But sometimes you just keep your hands in one place till the person you give a Reiki to say it's enough. And sometimes it's, it can take a few minutes. Sometimes it's longer. And then another event is over 20 years ago, my husband thought he was having a heart attack. It was a very acute anxiety attack because of stress. And so we got into the hospital and so forth. And I was with him in the room, and he said, just put your hands on me. And my hands were literally on fire, to the point where my own energy was, kind of, it was very intense, right? So some people are much more receptive than others. Some people have more energies than others to give and receive. And it's a very powerful thing to learn. And again, everyone can learn to be a Reiki practitioner. Every one of you, literally. And you can apply Reiki to yourself. You can, if you fall and you just put your hands on yourself. So I think Murli can vouch for that. And it is an amazing experience to be able to give Reiki to someone. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Martine. It's so good to have you on the call as a Reiki practitioner. Thank you. Wonderful testimony. Murli Gopal Prabhu, did Lord Chaitanya do Reiki? Did he heal that person who had maggots in his body? The leper?
Well, the whole point of Reiki is to channel God's love. That's the whole point, to channel God's love towards somebody. So yeah, he was giving God. He is God, and he was giving his love, and he healed, like all the Gopal Gopal Chapala, from which he also gave him uh, this disease, but yeah, like he was doing it. And so many saints also, when they heal, what is it that they're doing? They're doing Reiki, but what they're doing is really just like allowing the love of God to flow through them to a person, and to go where it needs to go, that love of God.
Yeah, you're not the doer. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
pretty cool.
The idea of the Reiki practitioner is that, yeah, like I'm just an instrument here.
Yeah, just like bhakti. That's great. Oh yeah, Granga Lila has her hand up. This is the last input for today. Granga Lila, go ahead.
Well, Krishna sometimes makes things like interesting. Like sometimes you meet a person and like I once was in a park, like playing in the park, and I saw a person wearing the Beatles shirt, like the George Harrison's one. And yeah, I was like,
Jai.
Krishna has given him little mercy.
Absolutely. I was at the car dealership the other day, and the song that was playing there was My Sweet Lord. And there was Mahamantri in the end. I was so happy. I said, this is a good car dealership. I'm buying a car from them. All right. Okay, Murli Gopal, give us some final closing remarks so we can become uplifted and go out there and put Reiki on everyone we meet.
Well, if you're like Garangalila and you're looking for Krishna all around you, like, oh, somebody has a shirt of the Beatles. It reminds you of God. Oh, like there's a painting of a peacock, and then suddenly it reminds you of Krishna. Then if you're keeping out for that God consciousness, uh, it will be easier to find the goodness in everyone.
Exactly. So it's not auspicious to put, it's not appropriate, I would say, to put Krishna's picture in the bathroom, but we can put a nice peacock in the bathroom and think of Krishna that way. Is that bona fide, Murli Gopal?
Yes, yes, you can
Good.
put lots of peacock feathers in your bathroom.
Jai, I'll
Your
do
your
that.
your 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 wife will probably have something to say about it.
I'll I'll consult with her.
Yeah, yes, please do so
I don't want to
for
drive
your
it.
for your own safety.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam, the king of books, Grantaraj, Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, Ki Jai, Murli Gopal Prabhu, Ki Jai, everyone on this call, all the children and all the childlike people on this call, Hare Krishna to you. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Bye, Hare Krishna.
Martin is doing Reiki. I'm receiving it. Thank you. Thank you, Martin. Thank you. Because I'm shattered. I'm joking. I'm fine. I'm with Prabhupada. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Thank you.